with you today, and I wanted to share one of the projects that I am working on throughout 2016. So one of the things that I wanted to do this year is to create a photo book for every month of the year. Last year, if you follow along with me, you know that I created a mini album or some type of album for every month of the year, and I really love having our individual albums. And I didn't think that I could do, or I didn't think I wanted to do that process again. It's time consuming, and yes, I still will have tons of creative projects, but I just love to switch things up and try something new. So this year, I really wanted to try printed photo books, and my goal is for one photo book every month to be completed like right at the end of the month and ordered. And so a collection of books, and I want to use a different company every month. So for January, this is my January album, I ended up using Pinhole Press. I've never used them before, so I was really excited to try a new company, and I chose the 8x8 panoramic lay flat album. So I really wanted an album that had good quality pictures, and I wanted my pages to lay flat just to try out that style. So this is a hardback book. As you can see here, it's 8x8, like I mentioned, and it has this cloth spine and backing. And then I chose an image here for the front, a full image, and then at the bottom, there's a place for a title. So I added January 2016 at the bottom there. And I'm just going to share with you kind of a quick walkthrough of the album and talk to you about some of the different things that I liked about Pinhole Press, and just share my book with you. So this is the beginning of the album here. And one of the things that I really love about Pinhole Press is that I was able to add in text directly into the album. So you'll see the layout choices. If you go in to print a book through them, you'll see the layout choices give you different options for text on the right, text on the left, text in the middle, and all kinds of things. So I really wanted to add text directly to this book. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to do that every month, but I just wanted to try it for something different for this month. So this is kind of the opening page here. I'm just going to walk you through, and I'll stop. So this is a panoramic photo, so a double page photo here. And when I'm doing these types of photos and adding in our photos, I just try to always make sure that my subject isn't split down the middle, or like her face, like maybe if it's her arm or something. So for this one, I just made sure that she was to the right. And there is the tool in there that you can crop the image. So if your image happens to fall in the center, you can crop it so it's more kind of following the rule of thirds on one of the right or left sides of the page. Pinhole has a number of different layout options. And it's by double page spread. So for instance, this one's 2 square images, and I couldn't have done a square and a rectangular. So it's not by page, it's by spread. So this was the spread there. I did a lot of full page, full spread photos, panoramic photos. I really like that style, and I wanted to include that here in the book. So this is another layout option that had 2 vertical images, and then the option for text over on the other side. And I did really want to add in some stories and see how that went, how that looked. Kind of the same thing again. So this was another layout option with a full, or I guess mostly roughly large photo on one side, and then a grid of 9 photos on the other side. I like that, especially when I had, this is great for images of the same event, or multiple images that you want to include, but not all of them need their own large image. This is a great way to add in multiple photos to a page. This is another layout option similar to the ones where I said there are 2 square options, except these had the options for a little bit of copy or text at the bottom. So I like to add it in just a little bit about our photos there. Another full spread photo, again, making sure that my daughter was on one side of the page instead of right down the center. 2 landscape style photos there. Another large photo, and then some text. I really, really like the text. I love that not all companies that I've used before, I haven't used too many photo book companies, but not all the companies that I've used have had the option for adding in text. You could always do it, you know, with a pen or something after you get your album, but I love that I could type that right in as I was making the book. So once I got the book, it was totally finished. Another large photo. Same thing there. So you can see here, these are the same ones that I told you that had the option for text at the bottom. And I just added more here to this one rather than the one a few pages back where I just added kind of where we were. Same thing there, but with the landscape photos. Another panoramic photo. I love that, that it is lay flat. That's pretty awesome. It's so fun. More photos and text. So as you can see, I kind of repeated the same styles and found the pages that I love the best. There are other layout options that I didn't include in my book. It just didn't work with my photos, but I did love that I was able to add in text. So this is a fun, I think, layout here, a grid of 4 photos with some text. This is another great way when you have a couple photos from the same event, or you know, you're all doing the same thing, but it's fun just to add a little bit of character to your book. And they're definitely photos that if I were printing my own pictures, I probably wouldn't have printed all 4 of these, unless maybe I did a grid or something similar to this. But it's, you know, a great way to use photos, and they're smaller instead of like one large photo. More photos and a little bit of copy, a little bit of text there. This is the same kind of layout I showed you earlier with a large photo and then a grid of 9 photos. So as you can see, I take a ton of pictures and usually a ton of the same event. And I try to delete as many as I can, but sometimes you just can't delete them. And I just think these are my kids just being plumb crazy. They're just silly. And I love having their smiles and laughters and just them totally being themselves here. So I added that over on that side. And then this is kind of one of the same images here, but I just divided it right down. Made sure I divided right down the center. So my daughter was on one side and my son was on the other side. Another large photo there, and as you can see, it's the panoramic, and I just made sure that where the crease of the pages, 2 pages were, that it didn't go right through an awkward spot of his face. So it's kind of right on his chin, which I think is fine for that picture. Another large photo and text. And my son and our sweet dog cuddling up together. And then this is the last page here. So a picture of my son, a picture of my daughter there, and it's, as you can see, this last page is adhered down to the back of the book. So if you wanted to do just, I don't think I was aware of that the last page was actually the last page when I was uploading my photos. I'm sure it probably said it and I missed it, but I think it's totally fine and doesn't bother me at all. But I think maybe if I made this book again, I might do like a concluding page, like a collage or something. So that's kind of a look at this book through Pinhole Press. It was the site uploading the photos and manipulating the photos and changing the pages around or changing the layouts was very easy. One thing that I did notice is you can't shuffle pages. So I wasn't able to, once I had all my pages and photos added, I wasn't able to move pages around. And I don't remember being able to add in a page like in between pages. Like if I already had these 2 pages done and then I found more photos of this event, if I wanted them to be, you know, right behind that one in a type of consecutive manner, I don't think that I was able to do that. But again, I may be wrong. I didn't try to do every single thing through them. But I think so far I'm absolutely in love with this album, and it makes me almost want to create all my albums so they would be uniform and the same. But I do want to try different companies and then just try different software and just see how it all comes together at the end of the year. One thing that I wish that I would have done is, as you can see, most of these photos are my DSLR photos, with a few of them being iPhone photos. And I have a ton of iPhone photos, and I wish that at the back here, I would have done like 2 collages of just those random iPhone photos that don't necessarily, that are still part of our everyday. And of course I thought about that like the minute I hit buy or whatever, or complete your order. But I'll do it again, and there's always room for February, so I'm not gonna harp on it. I'm just gonna move on, maybe find something to do with them in another album. But I do wish that I would have done that. But I love this album, and it's definitely fun, and I highly recommend Pinhole Press for that. So let me know if you have any questions, or if you guys have any questions, and thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back every month with another look at another album. And if you have any suggestions for companies that you love, I definitely have started a list, but I do not have 12. So if you have a photo book company that you love, or one that you've heard is awesome, or one that I should check out, just leave me a comment here on this video and I will definitely check them out. Thanks so much, guys.